welcome to Fandemically Reviewed. Part of the Fandemic, this is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that do and don't. Each episode, I'm going to review a movie, TV show, or something. Uh, I can't talk today. I'll go over some of the best and the worst reviews, and then you can make up your own damn mind if you want to watch the movie or not. All in under 30 minutes. I'm the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan, and this is Fandemically Reviewed. Today, we're talking about The Strangers, Chapter 1, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on my thoughts of it until the end, but I went to it with my wife and my brother-in-law, because we kind of like to do the horror movies when they come out, and that's the reason why I went to it. I remember the old ones, and I liked the older ones, and especially the first one. The first one was really, really clever, I thought, and I still remember some of that today. Does this one hold up? I don't know. Let's take a look at some good and bad reviews. But before we do that, let's go over some of the details, some dirty deets of the movie. So for the IMDb rating on this is a 5.3 out of 10. The Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter gave this a 13%, and the 43% of an audience score. I can see that. I can definitely see that. So here is the IMDb synopsis of the movie. After the car breaks down in an eerie small town, a young couple is forced to spend the night in a remote cabin. Panic ensues as they are terrorized by three masked strangers who strike with no mercy and seemingly no motive. Okay, this was directed by Rennie Harlan. You know him from The Bricklayer, Legend of Hercules, Exorcist: The Beginning, The Long Kiss Goodnight, Cutthroat Island, Cliffhanger, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Die Hard 2, Yippee-Ki-Yay, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Okay, so this is what you're getting. This is the director, super big in the 80s and the 90s. Not so much. He's a lot more picky now in what he does. This is written by Alan R. Cohen and Alan Freeland, and they're both credited with The Freak Brothers, Lopez, Imposter, Guys with Kids. Some of those I've never heard of. I think out of all that, I've heard of Lopez, and that's about it. So that's the creative behind here, okay? The main stars in this is Madeline Petch. She plays Maya. You know her from Riverdale, Sightless, Polaroid. She's also upcoming in Stranger Chapters 2 and 3. Ryan Bone, he plays Jeff. He was in Annika, Perfect Edition, Everything I Know About Love. Froy Gutierrez, he plays Ryan. You've seen him in Hocus Pocus 2, Cruel Summer, and Initiation. Ben Cartwright, he was Rudy. He's been in Sherlock Holmes, A Song to Kill For, Hatfield and McCoy's Fearless. Stevie Davis plays Dougie. He's from Belgravia, The Silent Child's where you might have seen him before. Richard Brake Hughes plays Sheriff Rotter. He was in Doom, 31, Kingsman, The Secret Service, Hannibal Rising, and Barbarian. Freaking awesome movie. Pedro Leandro, he plays Deputy Walters. He's been in The Liberator, Wonder Woman 1984, Citadel, The Liberator, which apparently I put that in there twice, and Hannah. Emma Horvath, she plays Shelley. She's been in What Lies Below, the 205th, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Don't Look Deeper. Janice Ahern, she plays Carol. She was in Tom and Jerry, Guardians of the Galaxy, Borg vs. McEnroe, Gravity, and Citadel. And Rafaela Bezern, this person is Eden, and she was in Bombshell, Private War, Dolphin Island, Nothing to Lose 2. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's take a look at our rating system here. And a 1 out of 5 is a you shall not pass. Yeah, I'm just not interested. 2 out of 5, are you not entertained? Take it or leave it. 3 out of 5, I'll be back. Like it or not, I'm probably going to watch it again. 4 out of 5, may the force be with you. Enter into my fandom. And 5 out of 5, no, I am your father. Life changing. Something happened, changed my whole perspective. Just awesome. All right. I base the reviews I choose solely on the title alone, and I've not read them through. Please forgive me if I mispronunciate words. I normally no talk good. I'll do my best to read them as I see it. Punctuation good, bad, and all. So here we go. Okay, this one is called Comes a Time to Realize Your Time is Too Valuable to Waste. And this is a 1 out of 10 from IMDb. And here it is. This movie was awful for so many reasons. Cardboard characters and wall-to-wall cliches. Okay, maybe if you're 12 and have never seen any of the myriad of movies with the same plot, you may be intrigued. I like this review so far. There were plenty of failed attempts at suspense. The problem is there's no reason to care at all what happens to this couple. And what's with the girl's lips? Was she stung by a bee? Okay. An example of the brilliant dialogue comes when they try to leave the restaurant and the car won't start. What's the matter? She asks. The car won't start, he answers. Okay, I love this review. Then later, the couple tries to hide from the bad guys by running through the same woods, calling out for each other and using the speakerphone. If this were a quiet place, they wouldn't last long. No, it's not the quiet place. And if the whole thing, if they were in the world of the quiet place and they've already figured out that if they make noise, they'll die, they probably wouldn't have done that. So you lose me a little bit there. I'm going to review your review. I think it was, for the most part, pretty decent. We're going to give you an I'll be back. Okay. Another 1-star review. Disgrace. Horrible. Don't waste your money or time. Warning, spoilers. As a fan of the original and the sequel, this is the CW remake version of them. I don't know where to start with the cringy dialogue or horrible acting. What do you expect when you have actors who can't act? Terrible in every way. You know a horror movie is bad when they have 3 kills and one of them is off screen. The whole movie is a cringe fest. CW show. The ending is non-existent. This has been one of the biggest letdowns in horror movies, ruined by idiotic directors, actors, producers. I genuinely want to know who thought this movie was even a good idea to release. Did they not see their product? Okay, we're gonna give you were definitely not entertained. Not entertained there. Okay. All right, let's go the other way. Okay, this is a 1. Oh, this is another, let's go to a 6-star review here. And this is a very random remake of the amazing 2008 film, automatically needed to go straight to Hulu or Netflix. The trailer didn't exactly look like a remake or a reboot, but my God, this was literally just them trying to cash in on the 2008 film. A few jump scares, some creeping around, and 0 gore. Could have been PG-13. Not sure how this is chapter 1 of a trilogy when it was exactly like the 2008 film. I had a feeling this movie would be cheap and lifeless, but oh my gosh, even the 2019 film Strangers Prey at Night blows this film away. The Prey at Night film had more thought and terror put into it. But yeah, this was a bad attempt at a reboot or remake the original Strangers. I was hoping I would be wrong, but oh well. Can't expect nothing from horror films nowadays. Few jump scares, no gore, cheap ripoff. Damn, I'm getting old. I remember watching the first Strangers 2008 in theaters and having a blast like it was yesterday, 16 years ago. Same way Manhunter 1986 was remade as Red Dragon in 2002. 16 years later as well, we are getting old. But watch it if you're curious. It would have been much more appreciated if it had gone straight to streaming and scary to watch it at home. All right, let's do a 10 out of 10. Original Revisited. This is. My feelings are still slightly confused by this one. I went into it thinking it was a prequel. After watching the film, I'm not sure how I ever thought it was that. So I definitely wasn't expecting almost an exact remake of the original one. However, overall, I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe even more than the first one. I know. The characters felt relatable to me, and I really enjoyed how they switched up a few things. I liked seeing parts of the neighborhood as well, and trying to pick apart a bit more of the backstory for Terrible 3 with what we were given. Still have nothing though. We need to know who they are. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with for chapter 2. Okay. And one more. This is a 10 out of 10. This is worth the watch. Better than the sequel by far, but not the original. I get sometimes when the formula works, stick with it, but at the same time, they could have changed it quite a bit instead of basically keeping it like the original. In the early 2000s, I remember watching this in the theaters, and it was terrifying. Audience screaming to all the jumps, but it doesn't work that well at this time of an age. The two main stars were great and thought they were phenomenal. You definitely bond and want to relate to them, but once you start realizing this is just full repeat, you kind of already just don't want to finish it. The thing is, with the Strangers movies, they always win. I find that to be the most annoying as I was getting frustrated that the villains always had the upper hand. I wanted them to change it up, but they didn't. So definitely think it's worth the watch, but just don't go in expecting something new. You did a lot of complaining for giving that a 10-star review. But okay. I'll be back all the ways. Those are just in the road, whatever. My thought, after reading several reviews, good and bad, I'm going to give this 5 stars out of 10 or 3 out of 5. I'm giving this an all be bag. I'm going to watch chapter 2. I'm going to watch chapter 3 as well. But I had problems with the movie. There was so many stupid horror movie cliches shoved in this movie, which is fine. But just bad decisions. And yeah, there's some good points in some of these. Actually, I think one of the bad reviews sounded like he liked the movie more than the 10-star review, which was kind of weird, but okay. And if you got the disposable income, go see it in the theater, because horror movies like this are kind of pretty cool in the theater. And let's see, where would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5? Would you go as low as a "you shall not pass"? Was it life changing? Was something happen in it that changed your life? Or go to a "no, I am your father"? I don't know. Let me know. But the best actor in the movie was the girl, the main character. She did good, from Riverdale, Madeline Petch. I've never watched Riverdale. Everybody keeps saying I should, and I just haven't. She was about it. There wasn't much else in there. The story was fine. Like everybody else said, it was just a rehash of the original, done a little worse. You didn't have Liv Tyler, cinematography. There's some decent jump scares, not a ton of gore. It was mediocre. Go see it if you like those kind of movies. Wait for it to stream. You're not going to miss anything. All right. And we are 15 minutes. If you want to F me, that's right. Find me, friend me, follow me. That is Facebook at The Fandemic, TikTok at The Fandemic1, Instagram at The Fandemic1. If you feel there's more to conversation, feel free to reach out and let's talk. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next guest on The Fandemic. If you want to support the show, there's several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/The Fandemic. Find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PVOTN-Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, an episode producer, a prevent producer like Stacey, or become part of the Council of Nerds, starting at $5 a month. Or if you just want to give me money, I won't say no. PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butin. Most importantly, just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. If you like this, check out All Things Fandemic and hear all the fun conversations with myself, Brian, and whoever else wants to talk. You can order my kids' books, Leveling Up My Awesome and Stuffed Animal Night Horse versus the Dream Invaders on Amazon, or contact me for autographed copies. I got 2 more books in the works. Hopefully those will be out in the near future. Do or do not. There is no try. The Strangers, Chapter 1. You just got Fandemically reviewed.